I want to bring in Adam Mount in Washington. He is a senior fellow and director for the Defense Posture Project at the Federation of American Scientists. He joins us now via Skype. Adam, thank you so much for digesting this news. First of all, this has not been corroborated. This statement comes out of South Korean President Moon's office with all of these developments. How are you taking it at this point? Are you going to wait to hear from the DPRK's news agency?
What the North Koreans say about this statement will be highly important. That having been said, the initial indications are surprising. They're dramatic. We haven't seen for years North Korea take these kinds of steps and appear to be willing to put denuclearization on the table. What we've seen so far, all indications are surprisingly good, and it exceeds what most experts, their wildest dreams. It exceeds most of what we expected.
All right, the statement actually says, quote, it made it clear, the North, that it would have no reason to keep nuclear weapons if the military threat to the North was eliminated and its security guaranteed. That is a big caveat. However, the Trump administration has said all along they want talk of denuclearization before they'll come to the table. What do you think the Trump administration should do with this opening?
Denuclearization would be a very heavy lift. It's difficult to imagine international inspectors swarming all over the North Korean countryside, poking their noses into secret military sites and inspecting fissile material. We have to accept that denuclearization is still a very skeptical outcome. We need to be prepared to seek limited objectives. There's several possible deals that could serve American interests, but we should push denuclearization as far as we can get it. Bargain hard. Don't give away something for nothing. Don't let North Korea divide the allies. Be prepared for setbacks. Always be ready to think that talks could fall apart, at least temporarily, and be ready to weather that without scotching the entire process.
That is a malleability that we have not seen thus far from the Trump administration's policy on North Korea. Is there any reason to believe that will change given this opening? And Donald Trump did say back at the beginning of the Winter Olympics that he might be willing to engage in talks with North Korea in, quote, the right conditions. But is there any reason to believe that the U.S. won't set as a precondition to any negotiations denuclearization?
Well, Stephanie, denuclearization is the result of these talks. It can't be a precondition. What the Trump administration has said is that we would be willing to do talks if North Koreans said that they were pausing nuclear and missile tests. That's what they've said that they're willing to do now. So they've met the U.S. condition. The question now is whether the Trump administration will have the flexibility and the bravery to put a credible offer on the table. The North Koreans certainly won't eliminate or even pause their nuclear and missile development for nothing. It will be difficult to see what we're prepared to offer.
You know, we saw a very hard line from the Trump White House last year. Bellicose rhetoric going between both sides. The fire and fury comments seem to be a bit in the rear view mirror. Does the Trump administration change its tack now that they've seen the South Koreans with a much softer, more open stance toward engaging with North Korea? Do you see the U.S. now changing its stance to align itself with its South Korean ally?
You don't change your stance. You remain skeptical of the North Koreans. Whenever they get into negotiations, they are not trustworthy. So you keep the pressure on, you bargain hard, you follow the playbook of that President Obama did during the Iran deal. Don't give away something for nothing. Don't trust them further than you can throw them. But at the same time, we should be prepared to see this through and go as far as this will take us. So our South Korean allies will absolutely be looking for signs that the United States is prepared to engage honestly. And we should work with them, follow their leadership, be grateful for the opening they've given us, and coordinate a tough negotiating position together.
All right, Adam Mount, thank you so much for joining us with that analysis.